There's no right and wrong answers to this. So it's your opinion. And anybody that know me know, I always say, your opinion like an ass. Everybody had one. So there's no wrong or right about it. So, and I just normally jot down some stuff that I think about, I come across, I just think about it. And I don't do it in no particular order. I just, just write. All right. So do anyone use Twitch?
I have an account, but I don't use it.
Okay. And I mean, and like I tell people, using Twitch right now would be good as a marketing standpoint for you, or just to keep your name out there. Because everybody home now. So my thing is, this is the best time to take advantage of these like streaming platforms, either Twitch, Mixcloud. I'm not even gonna say YouTube. I won't even say Facebook because you know what happens on Facebook. So as a DJ, as a standpoint of you trying to, stay bro. It's just keeping your face out there. Back in the day, you went to parties or you just keep your face out there, as I say. All right, that's the Twitch. And the tie in the Twitch is using Restream. Anybody have a Restream account? And having a Restream account would let you, if you got like a Mixcloud account and you got a Twitch account and you got a Facebook account, and when you decide to stream or go live, actually you could do it and to push up a button, you can stream to all three of them platforms at one time. That's pretty much what Restream does. It acts like a bridge to all these different platforms, and I think you do it up to 2 on a free. I'm not sure, but it's a paid version and a free version. So if anybody interested, y'all can check that out. And
how much impact does that have on your computer when you say you put the Restream on? Say you got OBS, you know what I'm saying? How much?
Well, Restream had no impact because Restream is a browser. It's not a app per se. It's in a browser.
Okay.
So you connect the Restream to a browser.
Okay.
Like you would connect to Facebook or you would connect to whatever. It's just a browser. So it shouldn't have no impact on your CPU and your RAM on your computer.
Okay.
It shouldn't. Now, I could be wrong. Like I tell anybody, at the end of the day, I could be wrong, but I don't think it does.
Okay.
Welcome, Pinky. I seen Pinky just jumped in the room. Welcome, Country Boy. Alright. Yeah, so this is just something that we think about. If y'all streaming and to get your brand out there, these some of the things y'all could do. That's why I started with these two topics.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have like a actual like is there like the top UBS like for YouTube for the top usage for that?
A top for who?
UBS. Like a video to use it.
What do I use because
Hey, what's
everybody
the
going.
best out there? Yeah, I know there's different ones out there.
I tell people the best is what you can afford, and I don't say that to be smart, but you could use something basic to get you by, and just as good as something that probably cost you $500-$600. Like your webcam, you just got a webcam, you good. Now some people might use a DSLR camera. It's what you want to do. And one thing I tell people about streaming more so is your lighting, which is more important than, like, you could buy a C920 and get professional quality out of it. And now when I stream, I use a C920, and also I use a digital mixer. I use a regular mixer, but it's USB mixer into my computer. I mean, some people use the sound cards. It depends what you have. But my thing is use what you have. I mean, it's. I mean, I know some people that got elaborate streaming setups where they use like I don't use when I stream. I use a different computer than the computer I'm using the DJ with. So, but I would say just a probably good basic media. I'm not even gonna say the best webcam, but like a C920 webcam, a nice average webcam, you should be good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it depends what you're using, a controller or you got a mixer. See, a lot of times
Controller.
people get good pictures, but they sound quality sucks. But like what I do, I come out of my mixer into my board back into my computer. That's how I stream.
Okay.
But now with the new Serato, you actually don't need a board because you could use that I show you capture and it give you direct audio right to your streaming source. If you're using Serato, the new update give you that you could use I show you capture. And it's not hard, but you just gotta set it up. And it works just like you have a mixer give you direct audio. So now only thing you need is a webcam. A decent webcam. And if you're using OBS, you actually could use your phone as a webcam. But that's another. But I never get what's good and what's better because everybody budget and everybody price is going to be different. Alright. And what I see, a lot of people, a lot of DJs that had DJ for as a business, they be renting out these offices and these storage facilities to hold their gear. But now since the COVID, I see a lot of people closing their offices and shutting down their storage because they saying they're not making the money to sustain all that. Do anybody use storage or have their own office? Guess not, huh? See, it's just questions that I just write down. All right, this one, I think somebody should respond. Is it important to have an online presence as a DJ as it stands as today?
I think it is. I think it's kind of expected and required and able to stay, keep your picture out there. So that's what we have right now.
Right. I mean, because like I tell you, and I think I mentioned this last week, like sometimes if you got a Zoom account and you know that you deal with you got 10 clients you deal with, invite them to do a Zoom to let them know you still DJing. Because if y'all notice, if y'all look around in y'all neighborhood, you see stores that have been in business for 20, 30 years, they closing down because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
So what they think of just, I'm not going to say a little DJ as you, but as a DJ, was not been in that business that long, how you sustaining? So I think it's good to just do a Zoom with them. Yeah, I mean, play a couple of records. Or you don't even got to play records. Y'all can talk like you. I'm still in business. See what they doing. Because they might want to do a virtual party. And that way you can make a couple of dollars. Yeah, I mean, they know you still around. Because this pandemic, you should be finding ways how to stay visible when you home. You know what I mean? You got people making a killing just doing virtual parties in their house. Yeah, I mean, so there's money to be made out there. This one is a tough one. But before I even ask this, do anybody run their DJ business as a legit business? So everybody want to hustle. Everybody hustle. That's what's up. Um, we all deal with equipment, but how do y'all figure out it's time to upgrade your systems? All right, let me
Uh,
see.
let me just say,
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
some of the electronics, the books and the PCs, they'll kind of tell you when it's time to upgrade because you won't be able to do much with them. But equipment, unless you just dogging it, it's usually gonna last a long time unless you just want something new.
Yeah,
You know.
but like I say, now when you talk about like if you update and what I'm saying update equipment, like when do you know it's time to like if you're using a lower grade speaker, time to go up to that bigger grade of speaker, like a more powerful speaker, or to add another sub to your setup.
Uh, um, can I can answer that too.
Yes.
I think it also depends on the type of like work you're doing and how far you're going with it. You know what I mean? And where your lane is. Like if you're starting to do more work and I feel as though like if you require more equipment and your finances have grown, it's because it's also finances, then you can upgrade. But I think it also I think it also depends on with that. And when it's time, like, oh look, I only had these two 15-inch speakers. I need some subs. You know what I mean? Because with the weddings I'm doing, I need subs. So I think that's it helps with that as well.
Right, right. And and like and when I say upgrading equipment, and I'm gonna touch on this while I'm on upgrading equipment. Be careful upgrading your computer to these new OS, especially if you use a Mac. If you use a Mac, be careful uploading. I mean, like the new Big Sur is not compatible with a lot of stuff. Like if anybody had the older mixers, if you went past High Sierra, your mixer don't even work no more. So just be careful updating. And my thing is, when it comes to computers, like I have 3 Macs, and all mine I know went past High Sierra because I believe in if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Alright.
Hey, what's up, Flash? How's everyone doing?
Yo, what's going on? Quick in the mic. Quick on the mic.
Man, yeah, you're talking topic that I was kind of discussing, I guess, with myself because I have the EVs. I hate using beginner or starter, but the I have the lower end ZLX, which I've had them 5 or 6 years now. Real good speakers. I like them. I also have the Mackie Thumps, the latest Mackie, the new shape. The one looks pretty cool. So all week I've been thinking about selling those two sets and buying been looking at the RCFs, the Evox 8 J8.
Right.
I was thinking about getting those two and getting rid of my other stuff, or selling those 4 speakers and just getting a set of those the QSCs. So that's where I'm kind of caught up, and it's because when I've played, sometimes when I go out and play and I listen to my sound system, doesn't impress me. Do I like it? Am I tired? Okay, because sometimes I change stuff just to change it. You know, hey, let me go. I'm gonna go sell these. I'm gonna go get something new. Just for myself. Because I have stayed passive for so long, and I used to have them old, big, heavy speakers and all that stuff. And then you kind of got old looking, and so now I try to every 5, 6, 7 years, just switch it up a little bit, you know. Especially with controllers, man. I almost jumped on that 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 the deading the 599 for that MCX 8000, man. That's wow. That was a nice sale. Musicians had on today. But that's how I feel about upgrading. Sometimes it's just what you feel like, or if it's like lights, you're doing a show and you're like, hey, I think my show would be next level if I did this. That's how I kind of look at things. Just take it step by step. Not trying to break your neck or anything, but just step by step, and then look at if you're doing larger events, is it easier or is it better to rent, up lights or buy you a set of the Chinese ones or something, of that nature. That's how I look at it. It's,
Right.
you know,
And I agree, but and like we said, sometimes you outgrow what you're using because after a while, the ZLX is a very nice speaker. I own a pair. I mean, it's a very nice speaker for what it does. Now, a lot of times people try to over push speakers. You know what I mean? But maybe adding a sub might work. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, everybody air going to be different, and your event's going to be different. You gotta look at if you doing events under 200 people, yo, the RCF be and probably could do a little bit more, be awesome. But I would say if you're doing a 50 to 75 person event is where the ZLX falls in at. Yeah, I mean you could probably do a little bit more, but comfortably between 50 and 75 people. And I'm
So
on
what's
Facebook.
up?
What's going on with you?
All right. So I'm in on this conversation. I was watching you on
Yeah,
Facebook. I was like, I want to get down on this.
let's
Um,
go ahead.
I'm with I got the Mackie thumbs, and then I got some off-brand speakers as well. So I got four, but I guess the first big step I took was to get a to get a sub. So I can either run all four speakers with that sub or run two speakers with that sub. The sub makes a difference.
Yes.
I mean, it makes a big difference without having to go straight out of pocket for a whole set of uh, QSCs, EVs, however you're looking at it. So I can take my Mackie thumbs along with a good sub, one sub, and it does make a difference.
Yes,
But
be
you know, you asked the question about um, upgrading equipment.
right.
For me, I'm a little event DJ, so I'm not doing clubs and stuff, but um, for me, I let the business dictate when I'm ready to go and get more, or I have a wish list, and in case a piece of equipment breaks down, then I got to go out of pocket and make it up in the business somehow, or it just comes money out of pocket. But luckily, I've been blessed that that hasn't happened, and I let the business in. And when I can make the money, and then now I go to my wish list and I start getting other stuff, but I let the business take care of it instead
Right.
of just jumping out and saying, "Yo, I want this because I want this." Yeah, that's to me, from a business perspective, that's a losing proposition. It takes a lot of business to make it up, and when COVID hit, it's tough to get that money back. It's tough to get that money back. I just did a wedding recently, and um, venue. Actually, it was a mix up in communication. The venue had all of the speakers. I just needed to come with
Gotcha.
my controller and mixer, and I was good to go. So
Now, piggybacking off of that, like, and you talk about the business. Do you run your
yeah,
DJ as a LLC or you run it
nah,
as a hustle?
not not yeah. I run it as a side business. It doesn't generate enough income to actually make it as an LLC yet.
Why doesn't it? You know, LLC, you could do that easy. It's easy to set up, and we done that, and it really don't cost you that much. I mean, it's rather be safe than sorry in a sense. And like I always say,
But then
business,
I'm taxable on the money that I make.
it's a give and take, right? But then you can write stuff off also as being a business.
True. 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 True.
So, but yeah, I mean, because sometimes in a lot of venues, I don't know where everybody from, but I know here in Philadelphia, some venues you had to have licenses. I mean, not licensing, more so insurance. Do any of y'all carry insurance on y'all DJ insurance? Not your homeowners, because your homeowners ain't cover it once you leave out the house.
Yeah, I had a contract where they required me to have insurance, but I negotiated within the contract that you know it, so that insurance wasn't needed. That if there was an issue, I would be responsible, or
Right,
if they did something, they would be responsible. So
right.
but it was in the contract that I needed to have insurance, but we negotiated that to get it out of the contract. I've only had one contract that required me to have insurance.
Was that like an upscale hall, business hall, banquet hall, or whatever?
Nah, it was
A hotel?
no, it wasn't even that. It was a friend of mine and his wife that he was marrying was a high powered lawyer. So
Okay,
it was because of her that I have the contract that I have now. And
right.
actually, a big wig here in North Carolina, state attorney, looked it over and did some
Fine
fine
tuning.
tuning to get
Right.
me the contract that I have.
But I mean, I think it's like 200 or a little above a year. And I think we got DJ Genius. He might go touch on this a little bit more. But having insurance and running your DJ as a business will save you the headache and a lot of money in the long run.
All right.
All right, now let's talk about taxes and write-offs. Like I just discussed that, and Genius in here, and I know he DJ Genius LLC, so he might elaborate on this a little bit more than I can. Genius, you there?
I'm here, Flash. What's good?
What's good, bro? Yeah, we
Not
just
much.
my Sunday chat. You know how we do. But and I asked this question. We were just talking about the LLC and the insurance part. But as you running DJ Genius LLC, how you go about writing off and paying your taxes?
Well, I mean, actually, it's genius music.
Genius, you right. You well, I got it
So,
wrong. Yeah, but
yeah, nah, you good, you good. But basically, one of the things I can say, and this is for all DJs, is that the new bills that are being passed is a requirement that if you actually are performing in clubs, this is going to be in almost every last city in the state. It's going to be a requirement that you actually have insurance. Like to be able to DJ in hotels and a lot of venues right now, they're requiring that you actually have insurance to cover damages. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a must. If you haven't registered yourself as a business, I would recommend that you actually do, especially during these times, because the benefits will actually help you. You know what I'm saying? As far as the stimulus and a few other things that they actually have in place. But you definitely want to make sure that you cross all your T's and dot your I's. I came in a little late. I think I heard the gentleman talking about contracts. That's definitely important, right now as well. You have to actually, if you really want to be successful, you got to see yourself as a business, whether you registered or not.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to because at the end of the day, and I always say businesses love doing business with businesses. You know, it's easier to do business with Genius Music than doing business with Rodney Smith, hypothetically.
Well,
You
I wouldn't
know,
say that,
I know
but
I'm saying a business as being business because they get the write-offs and they could do this and they could do this, but you just get into a person, a lot of stuff they can't do.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
But I mean, it's helpful even as far as like buying equipment and things like that. You could write those things off in your taxes and get money back for that.
I do have a
It
question, Genius. DJ Genius, that's your name?
yes,
yes.
sir, that's his name.
Yes. While you're saying that, I didn't mean to cut you off. Can you touch on like how much stuff you can write off in your taxes? Like,
Hold on,
like you're
I
talking about
can't
like
hear you. You
travel.
said
Like how much stuff can you write off in your taxes? Like travel, like
Yeah,
gas,
you
food.
can write off all your travel expenses. Anything that you spend on your business itself, you know what I'm saying, you can actually write off in your taxes and even get some tax breaks and stuff on some stuff. You just want to make sure you keep all your receipts and everything. Um, and when you file, you just want to make sure you take care of all of the things legitimately, and it can definitely be beneficial. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I do this. I mean, I don't know at all, so that's why I had this Sunday chat where everybody engage and learn from one another, and that's what it's about. Also, what are you doing to engage your clients during this pandemic? That's the question.
But
Using
you need
using
to
Mixcloud, put mixes up. Um, People, when I do a wedding or something, get them to put something good on my Facebook, so when people do come by, they look and it at least prompts some interest to want to look a little deeper. Um, I try to do like a referral program for anybody who refers somebody, give them a little bit of money, $25 if they sign a contract, just whatever. And then every so often, if I'm not busy, I put up little funny DJ memes on my Facebook, keeps people smiling, keeps me at least um it makes me visible to the, oh yeah, Glenn, yeah. And then they sit back and hopefully say, yeah, my girl's getting married or blah 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 blah, and push them towards me, that kind of. That's it. Those are the main things that I can do to try to stay relevant. I guess that's a good word.
Yeah, you engage relevant. But okay, do you use your Facebook page or do you have a separate page for your DJ business?
See, I have a Facebook page and then I've got a DJ Facebook page. See,
Okay.
for some reason, my DJ page, I can't hook up to your page from my DJ page. This is my real account. The name, the Glenn name,
Right.
is my real Facebook account. But for some
Right.
reason, I'm having a problem linking up to all of my Facebook DJ groups to my DJ page. I don't know why.
how did
Yeah.
you how did you create your account?
It's under this name. And then I created
No, I
the
mean,
G
like when
Sharp.
you created it, what type of account did you create
Um,
apart from your personal account? Because that's what determines the abilities that you have.
that's a good question that I don't have a good answer to.
Right.
I'm old. I'm not technically. I'm just putting it for
Well, we
real.
all old.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I got issues with trying to because I'll just push a button and as long as it works, I don't care. So
Right.
you ask a good question that I don't have a real good answer to. It's set up, but somehow I'm stymied. I think it's too attached to my main account, and I don't know how to separate it a little bit more. I think I
Right.
need to learn to do that.
Right.
Yeah, like it gives you an option when you go to create, a page outside of your personal page. There are different types of business page. There's artist pages, you know, um, that gives you different abilities. And even now, they even have it so that Facebook, can actually pay you for doing events and stuff like that, depending on how your account is set up.
Well, if it's set up and it's got traction, can I change it so that it can be a little bit more autonomous, or do I have to
Um,
start that all over?
that is a good
Good
question.
question.
Without knowing the type of account, it's kind of difficult. I'd have to see, you know, um, the type of account that you actually have. But I think if you go in your settings, it should tell you, the type of account that you actually created.
I'm gonna
I would
go peep it
recommend
out on
if
my
it's not,
iPad.
Yeah, I recommend if it's not a um a business Facebook account to create one because it'll give you, a few more options than just as an artist, page or charity. Like there's a bunch of different options that it give you to create, a separate account from your personal account.
But
Yeah.
you're
And
also,
I think
but
that
you're,
that's something like,
Hey
yo,
Glenn, you can't do that from your phone. You have to also do that from the computer as well. You have a lot more
Yes,
oh,
options
yes,
on your
you're
computer
absolutely
than your
right
phone.
about that. It gives you different
uh,
options
all
from
right. So
different.
if that's the case, I bet you that it was not. I can pretty much tell you I didn't do it from a computer. I did it from a mobile device. So
Right.
what you're telling me is I got to start that all over again and start to get traction on a new page set up the correct way.
Well, you
Well,
may not, you may not. What I would recommend first is logging in on a computer, you know, um, and checking your account because when you actually log in from anything other than a computer, whether it's a tablet or your mobile device, you're getting a truncated version of
the
the
whole
actual
program.
site, right?
Right.
Because I mean,
Okay,
like an app literally is a miniature version of a website,
that's
you
why it's
know.
called an application and not the full
Ah,
blown
right,
program.
right.
Mm.
All right, so I'm gonna have to do that and check it. And man, this is kind of cool that this group is here. I've never been to it, but you put out, and I'll tell you how why I'm here. You put out a damn good playlist that you said you put it out, but your thing was somebody you needed to join the Zoom, and I
Yeah,
said
that's
that
all
I
I ask.
would, and I that's why I'm here. So um I want to say thank you for that playlist. There was a slamming play. There was a lot of music. There was a slamming playlist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Thanks.
want
Flash actually gives a lot of music out. Really good guy. Know him personally. Really good guy. Does a lot of stuff, and this group is very helpful. I mean, I know a lot, but I'm still learning a lot of stuff as well. He's taught me a lot, as well as Square Knight and a whole bunch of others. You know, and a lot of the things he does is to get people more involved and engaged, like how it is right now. I haven't been on the last, couple of Zooms because I've been busy as I don't know what, but
Yeah. Hey, yo, I
I'm
that's
tell
a
only
good
on.
thing.
yeah, I tell people life gets in the way. I mean, but yo, just don't do anything. Like check the group. Like we got upcoming. We got Mystical coming to the group. We got Mike Jones coming.
You mean like shake you fast, watch
Yeah,
yourself?
yes.
Okay.
We just had the other day. We just had Kim's wife. She's actually a DJ Phoenix some more. We
Okay.
had Little Kiki. We have a lot of different artists. We had from DJ Cool to we had quite a few artists. Sweet Tea.
Okay.
We had Lenny Williams. So this group, we do a lot of different stuff than most groups that don't. Like we try to keep be a group that's active and more hands-on than just putting a post up. You know, most groups you just put a post and somebody comment on it. But we do a lot of different stuff like this we do. You
Cool
know,
beans,
Yeah, like
man.
so
one thing I can say is that and the name fits because it's a DJ information group. There are a lot of intelligent, brothers and sisters that are part of this group that are very helpful in various fields, of this industry, even
to
beyond
be honest.
DJing. So being a part of it is very helpful. I
Well,
definitely recommend it.
I got a little bit of fire under me now. Once we get off of here, I gotta go
hey,
figure out my DJ page, and I can
yep.
Hey,
make a
hey,
difference.
Flash, I got
What's
some
up?
45s for you too.
Hey, you know when you come down, I'm here.
Yeah, I gotta come up that way anyway. So I'm definitely gonna hit you off when
So
you
you
get
know I appreciate it. Now, in this question, I know most people not gonna answer it because this is a fucked up question. But no, seriously, what was your worst moment as a DJ, and what did you learn from it?
here. Oh man,
Oh, oh yeah, I got. Go ahead, bro.
I'll start off. Um, my very first event. Like preparation is always key with anything, and I'll say this along with that. Even if we prepare for everything, anything can happen, and that's why preparation is key, so that when things happen, that we can become better at what we're doing. My very first event, we had a couple of issues. We had a power issue where the power went out. That was actually beyond my control. They didn't have a dedicated power line, for me to utilize, so it kept overloading the circuit, which that created a difficult issue. But me, I always look at myself as MacGyver. What I basically did is I brung in one of my portable generators and I just ran my power separate.
There you
But again, preparation. Even if you've been doing something for a long period of time, I'll say this, best advice. Even if you've been doing this 10, 20 years, there's always something new to learn. I don't care how long you've been doing something, there's always something new to learn. I've learned a lot from a lot of these brothers and sisters that helps me to prepare, for a lot of the things that I do, because in doing what we do, we experience, different situations, you know, and that's very helpful, and especially right now because technology is the wave. So when you're using a lot of the now systems, whether that's controllers or anything like this, always keep this in mind. When it comes to technology, and I'm an engineer, technology can fail at any given time. And you have to, be prepared for that, to know your equipment. So I would recommend one of the first things is whatever type of setup you have, whether it's controller, CDJ, turntables, whatever, actually learn the ins and outs of your equipment so that you can troubleshoot. And being a part of this group as well, post questions. You be interactive. You will be amazed at how many knowledgeable people are a part of this group that can actually help you.
Yep. Anybody else want to tackle this?
yeah. Um, right along with Genius that I had a I went and I ordered from Amazon a, a mixer because I use a mixer along with my controller. A
Right.
mixer because they wanted wireless microphones and I didn't have enough inputs for the four wireless microphones, so I got this mixer, got it quick. My wife was like, "All right, you're gonna get, and it happened. I got it when I was supposed to get it." We started playing music, and then the music just started fading, 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 fading. And that mixer that I went and just spent all that money for, and every just went. I had a backup mixer. I had my old mixer just to get that going back on, and that was something that was a because I mean, and now right from the onset, they're looking like, man, what's up with this dude? And I turned around and still, and then the part of the other part of that was I was working off of internet. They said, "Oh, you got internet?" I was like, "You got internet? Yeah, you got internet." So I didn't have my main drive with me. I learned that. I learned not to ever do that again. Not to ever, not to ever think that the internet's gonna be good enough and that I'd be good to go. And I was stuck without a lot of music because the internet was spotty. So those two things happened. It still panned itself out, but that was probably um, not quite what I needed to have. So now, whether there's internet or not, my drive is with me. I learned that the hard way. My drive is with me. Not only that, I got a backup drive to that drive in case that drive goes down. Redundancy is huge. So I'm learning that, or I've learned that. The problem is, I don't generate enough business to justify getting um, a generator, and I don't think I'll ever be in that situation. I say that, and I'm knocking wood. You know, I I hope I'm never in that situation, but I don't think I'm gonna, unless my business gets to a point where I'm in a spot where I got that many people that I got to make sure that yeah, that's good to have that generator. I just don't think that I do.
Yeah,
Well,
in most cases, the only time you honestly would actually need a generator is if you're doing an outside event where there's no power. You know.
And that's my second story is because of COVID, the venue got put outside, and this was in the summer. The venue got put outside, no tent, none of that, and it overheated my sub. My sub went out.
You don't have your own tents and canopies.
I do have my own tent, but I didn't think, we got one, and I didn't think about getting it. I didn't think about bringing it. And my wife is
Yeah,
right.
I
My
would
wife,
always say
this was a
as
last
a
minute. Oh, it's
plus.
gonna be out. Oh, huh?
I would say this, not to cut you off, but to interject, something. Never rely on the client to actually provide everything for you.
And I've
Because
learned
just
that.
being in this business as long as I have, you always want to cover yourself. If you got a backup mixer, bring a backup mixer. You got backup cables, bring backup cables. Like you always want to prepare for the worst, because anything can happen. I've seen DJs who had controllers where one deck failed and it wouldn't work, or the whole controller failed and they didn't have a backup. They forgot their hard drive, forgot their headphones, anything. I would actually recommend creating a checklist for yourself, of
Checklist.
things that are needed for each gig. Do walkthroughs. Like if Square Knot was on here, he'd be saying the same thing.
yeah.
Of pre-checking out venues before you actually do the gig to make sure that you have adequate things for the space that you're going to be utilizing. You know,
Anybody else want to tackle that question before I move on?
Flash, what was the question again?
The question was, what are some of your worst moments as a DJ?
So you're talking about technical.
Technical could be anything. Your worst moments, and what did you learn
Oh,
from
the duck. You talking about the shootouts? Watch the spots you playing at.
it?
Dang.
hey,
Yeah.
that
That's
happens
that's
too.
not fun right there. I can imagine.
Hey, yeah, I've been DJing since I was 12. Different clubs. I've seen it all. People shot in the club, the owners shot and killed. I've seen all that, but probably one of my worst moments as far as DJing. I never really had any major technical difficulties either. But I remember one time when I was DJing and I had the Denning come up with the S1000 CD players, and I don't know if y'all guys remember when we used to have those books of CDs. When we went from the turntables, we went to the CDs. I had the CD players. I never got the actual like CDJs like Pioneer. But what happened with me one night? So I had my two CD players, and in the packet, the case, that album case that we used to have, it used to have the little plastic inserts, and some of them had a little loose leaf plastic that would pull
Right,
apart.
that just slide it in and out of.
Right.
Yeah, have some, how it was. I guess you rip them out or something of, the little filler things.
Right.
What happened with me? I pulled the CD out. The little plastic thing stuck the bottom of the CD. I slid it
Oh,
into my CD player. It wouldn't read.
oh,
Oh, it got too hot.
It wouldn't
I got
read. I slid the CD out. The plastic stayed in. I couldn't read
Oh
it.
wow.
Wow.
So, and this was like the little spot I was playing that was like I think it got hot about 12 o'clock and it closed at 2. So I had like basically like 2 hours to try to do something with that one CD player.
Do a lot of talking in between songs.
oh
No,
yeah, that is.
no, actually,
Or find a
actually,
mix.
Look, actually, the
Yeah,
you
put on a mix and do self repair. That's why I said
yeah,
know your equipment.
I made a happened to make a That's when we started doing like the MP3. So I would put 100. I could put 100 songs on the CD.
Right. Yeah, MP3.
So
Right.
fortunately, that CD player, it had a feature where you could forgot what it was called. It's got the feature now on some of the players where you can actually fade into the next song.
Right.
So I never had any
Ah, yeah, yeah,
what's it
yeah, yeah.
called? Yeah. But the Jennings, they were nice. They had the effects, echo, it had everything on it. So I could actually fade into the next song. So that CD was so hot that, of course, it wasn't mixed, but I could get out of it, like you said, by talking, and then just going to the next, going to the next one.
Yeah. That.
Um,
Yo. Speaking of that, I was doing a party in Jersey. I'm in Philly, so I'm doing a party in Jersey. This one turntable creates the records. I forgot my mixer. Now we
Oh,
get to the
what?
bridge. We get to the bridge. It's funny, but lucky it was doing an afternoon event. So we get to the bridge. I'm like, damn. And some just said check. So we pulled over and checked. I know the mixer wasn't there. So make a long story short, I had to buy a new mixer. Lucky I had money on me, but
Right on the fly, man.
yeah, you had. I want to. I get a turn back. We still wouldn't have been
oh
late,
wow.
but just went and bought another mixer.
There you
That
go.
flash, I did the same thing. I used to do a like a county fair thing they used to do. Like,
Right.
they had the cloggers and the speakers and different things like that. Had to run down to Radio Shack. Yeah, it's been that long ago. I ran down to Radio Shack and bought a the wireless microphone set, little mixer thing they had.
Right.
I bought it just for that event, and you know what happened afterwards? I took that bad boy with me. You
There
know,
you go. There you go.
but
Yeah.
Hey, I don't need that. There you
but the other moment that I despise to this day, it still gets me hot. Some people that I used to roll with, they rented out a little spot. Actually, was almost across the street from my house, and I'm here in North Carolina, and
go. We're in
so
North Carolina.
I'm in well, right now I'm near Goldsboro, North Carolina, a little town called LaGrange or LaGrange, we
Okay.
call it. But I was down in Sampson County. I'm from Clinton. That's where I
I
met.
live in the Charlotte area. I live in
Okay.
Lake Norman.
Um, that's where I met Square Knot at. From Clinton, and
Right.
some of my
Oh,
people, they did a show. They were getting PD Pablo in. Okay. They said, "Hey man, we want you to DJ. We got PD Pablo coming in." I said, "Man, I don't have the equipment to do sound." Well, man, whatever you got. I said, "I'm telling you, man, I don't have the equipment." And anyway, the guy said, "Man," he called me like the show on Saturday. He called me like on the Thursday or Friday. "Man, I couldn't get anybody, man. Can you help me out? This, and that." I said, "All right, man, I'll do what I can do." So I got like double loaded 18s, and I had another set of subs. I had some PV, back in the passive days. So
Right.
I had probably I probably had like 8 speakers. I had them Behringer actives like for monitors.
Right.
So it was all right. But at that time, I really didn't know a lot about DJing with PCs and stuff. I just
Right.
had the new, it was new then, the new NS7,
Right.
the original one. Okay.
yeah.
And PD came in, gonna do the sound check, but he brought in his Mac.
Right.
And I'm like, man, and the hard drive wouldn't jive with my PC.
Right. A hard. Right. Because you had to format the Mac.
Yeah. So it was like, all right, we're already off on the wrong foot. So he said, "Well, what song do you have?" So I had all his songs. So we went and got it straight on like the order of playing stuff. But me just trying to hook everything up, and I was by myself, and you know how your people are, and it was just it was just a night, man, that I was like, man, I don't want to be in this situation again. And by the time Petey got on the stage, he did his thing and whatnot. It was all right. It was all right. And the guy that hired me, he lost so much money. My man didn't even pay me the rest of my money. I still ain't got to this
Yeah,
day.
that's another thing.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
and,
that
and,
that's
I, and I
another
knew
reason
better.
why I don't
I
do.
knew better.
I'm not on that circuit. I just
But
And I knew
don't
better.
know if I want to deal with the managers because their jobs, they don't make the money and then they don't want to give you the money. I'm like, yo,
well, that's the
I
promoter side of DJing, and again, he said his homie, his boy. So they know each other, and a lot of times, and like a lot of people don't like do business with friends. Friendship and business sometimes don't mix. You know.
So that's the gig to this day. Someone mentioned Petey Pablo's name. I won't play any of his songs. I don't care about Wake Up, none of
It
that
ain't
stuff.
Petey fault.
it
Not
wasn't
no.
Petey's fault.
But what I was saying is no, and then his people, we kind of clashed too. Some of his people. So it wasn't
Yeah,
just that. It was just the whole vibe,
yeah,
man. The whole
right,
night,
wasn't right.
the vibe just wasn't right, man. And
All
it
right.
it's all
Anybody
good.
else want to tackle this question before I move on?
Yo, Flash, my
What's
phone's
going on?
about to die, bro. So I'm getting ready to go. But
All right, peace. Yo,
yo,
keep checking
it
the
was
page.
I will and all the brothers that's on here. Yo, thank you for sharing your knowledge and definitely I want to stay active in this page. This is where it is right here. So I
Thanks.
appreciate you inviting me and thank you guys for just talking.
Oh yes, we appreciate you too.
And now I'm getting ready to go to my DJ website, my DJ
All
page, find out what's up with that.
right. Hope good luck on that. Let us
Thanks,
know how
man.
you made out.
I will. All right, later.
All right, peace. All right, the next one is how y'all meeting up with clients during this pandemic. Is anybody during the pandemic y'all meeting on Zoom or y'all going out to discuss? How y'all doing it?
Zoom for me.
That's what's up.
Man, me, Zoom, as well as I got my own thermometers and as well as testers to be able to test people. So depending on the requirements of this, the situation, that would determine, how I would proceed.
Right. And during these events, are they actually taking temperatures at the door at some of these events, or are they just letting them come in
I
as
can't
normal?
I
I
mean,
can't
for
speak for
what?
nobody else, but for me, yes, this requirement, everybody getting tested.
Right.
Come on. Because like this stuff is killing people. I personally lost 9 family members and 11 friends.
Right.
So,
Damn. Mm.
Yeah.
you know, so it's real. For those who
Right.
think it's not real, it's real.
Yeah.
You know, like at my job, you would have to get your temperature checked before you started work. Everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody. From the director down to the guy that washed the pots. Everybody got tested. Like, check your thermometer, your temperature. You know what I mean? Alright.
James, what's up, brother?
That still
Hey,
don't
what's
matter though.
going
You
on,
can still
Storm?
get your you can still
Chilling,
get your
chilling.
temperature checked. People still gonna get the COVID.
Right, you still gonna have it, but it's not 100%, it's a safeguard. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we know you still gonna
So,
have it. Some people go walk around with no symptoms. We know that part. But it gives you a false sense of security if that make any sense.
right. It helps because the majority of the people, when they have it, the symptoms that kicks in, their temperatures are feverish. You know what
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
So, in knowing that, then, if that person is feverish, then one, you wouldn't want them there even if COVID wasn't
Well,
existent.
right.
Yep. You right.
All right, next question. See, this gonna be easy. Have anybody done a destination wedding? Guess nobody. Let me not.
No. What is that?
A
I'm trying
destination wedding
not to answer
is
all the questions.
a destination wedding is like you done a wedding like in the Bahamas or
Yeah,
That would be no
overseas.
for me.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm trying to let everybody else answer first.
But yo, that's dope because I hear like people, cause a lot of people is doing it. They going to like Jamaica, the Bahamas to get married and having they weddings and stuff over there. I don't know why, but maybe the scenery, whatever.
Yeah,
But as but as
go
a
ahead. I'm sorry,
DJ,
bro.
but as a DJ, when you do them events, how I would say, how would you get your equipment there, or did you rent it when you there, or how do that work?
Well, you could do it two ways. Depending on what after speaking with the client, what their requirements is. In most of the cases that I've done it, I carried my own equipment, because the other issue you can run into when you go to certain places, like sometimes they may have it in a rural place where there is no, guitar center or, rent place to get equipment
Right,
from.
right,
So you got to pre-assess things, depending upon, the circumstances of, the event. But in pre-talking to the clients, you can pretty
you
much find out the information that's needed. You know, me personally, I always will prefer my equipment over someone else's just to prevent a disaster from happening. You know, um, but with that as well, you got to keep in mind having insurance on your equipment. I've been in situations where I got on the plane, loaded my equipment onto the plane, watched them put it under the plane, land. Like I use an example. I went to San Diego to do an event for Bishop Lamont, who's with Dr. Dre and Aftermath. And I get there, and mind you, I loaded my equipment, watched them put it on the plane and everything. Get there, and they lost some of my stuff.
wow.
You got to be prepared for that. Because it can happen. It happens more often than not, especially for the touring DJs. That's an issue that a lot of us deal with. You can
Right.
bring some stuff, but you got to be prepared for some things not being available. I would recommend, like your mixer, you can get the travel packs. Jetpack makes a lot of, you know, um, backpacks and things to carry your mixers and stuff like that in, so you can carry the most you can carry, the more you can carry forward, with you
Better.
as opposed to under the plane, the better. You know, but definitely get insurance on your equipment.
Exactly, and that's what I talked about earlier. Like insurance plays a big part, and a lot of people think it's your homeowner's insurance. It's not your homeowner's insurance. It's a
Separate
different
insurance.
insurance. All right. Mm. This one is a touchy one. Do you, do you think that DJs that I'm not going to I say low charging DJs. I'm not even going to say undercutting. I'm just going to say low charging DJs. Do you think it hurts your business per se?
I'll let everybody else answer
Yeah.
first, and then I'll respond.
You underwater. Anybody want to answer that? Or anybody want to take a shot at it?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, because, okay.
Okay, well, since nobody answering, I'll say this. Um, what somebody else does is exactly that. What somebody else says, do what they do. Never let that dictate how you operate. There's always going to be people that's going to try to lowball situations, and especially in this business, unfortunately, as DJs, you'll get DJs that'll try to give a lower price on things, and as well with clients are really trying to spend money, especially for a DJ, which is hilarious because they'll spend, like, say you do, like, they'll spend, say, like 2,500 in a photographer, 3,000 or more for the catering and everything else, and then when it comes to the DJ, they'll not really have a budget for. You know what I'm saying? I say this to all the DJs that's on here right now: know your value and never settle for less than your value, unless you feel the situation is going to be beneficial to you, meaning creating more situations for you. Because when it comes to what we do, and that's for anything, not even just DJing, we spend thousands of dollars. Like, as a DJ, I started with, two techniques, to mixer and create some records. You know what I'm saying? We spend a lot of money on what we do, not to mention the time, which is priceless. You know what I'm saying? So don't settle for less. Don't cut yourself short because of somebody else. You get what you pay for. They can try to undercut you, and 9 times out of 10, when they go with that low person, then their situation doesn't turn out right, and they'll call you back.
Yeah, on that, like I tell people, you have Walmart, you have Value Dollar, and then you have your Sears and whoever. You know what I mean? So you gotta be willing. You gotta know your bottom dollar. What you gonna come outside for? Cause Genius might come outside for $1,000, but I might say fuck it. I'll come outside for $600. You know.
But as well, always be open minded to circumstances. So, like, for instance, right now, COVID is going on. So I wouldn't charge what I would normally charge because I know we all going through this together. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, even with that, you know, time is precious and valuable. You know, your time is precious and valuable. Your value, you know what I'm saying, is what you deem it as, not what somebody else deem it as. You know, and keeping that in mind, don't let someone else discourage you or even a client. You make the decision when you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So talking about the COVID, what do you see the DJ pricing after COVID? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Or how are you going to move? Because you can't worry about what everybody else doing, and that's what I think a lot of people do. And I hear
Yeah,
these people.
that's part of the problem right there, Flash. Because in each city and state right now, as it stands, there are different variations, of how bad COVID is spreading. A lot of places, have issued, and we're actually about to, all the cities and states eventually are actually about to go back to phase, one, to start over, because it's actually re-spreading from Thanksgiving, and it's going to re-spread again during
Christmas.
the holidays, because some people are not going to listen to a lot of the things. Most businesses can't use full capacity. So keeping that in mind, you have to think about what you feel comfortable with accepting. And for each person, that's going to vary. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, for an example, in Maryland, the majority of all of the businesses can only fill up to 20% of the capacity of the venue. You know, and I will say this: keep safety first. I don't even care if it's somebody no. Safety first. This stuff is spreading like hotcakes. It's real, it's not fake. People are dying from it. You know what I'm saying? Safety first.
Anybody
But
else?
make this decision that's best for you, though.
Yeah. And anybody know I take this serious. Like my daughter don't even come to my house. And I love my daughter more than I love myself, and she don't come to my house. Like she know, Dad. But the next question, this more, I ain't gonna say. How can I put this one? And this is about music. Do you? Cause I hear everybody talking about remixes and this and that. But do you actually think your client care about remixes and blends, or they want to hear the original songs?
I think it depends on the song.
True.
Because I'll say this, even beyond the music, even when it comes to equipment, the average client is not, in tune to what we do, what's required, you know what I'm saying? So the only thing they want to do is have a good time. They don't know how much money you spent on your equipment, how much time you put in doing what you're doing. They just want to have fun at the least amount of cost. That's with
Exactly.
any client. You know what I'm saying?
Let me add that for me it's been a generational uh, indifference to that question. The older generation kind of want to hear the song as they know it, but the younger generation kind of like the different mixes, the blends, and especially in the area of the country that I'm from, the different genres of music. New Orleans, especially down that way, they got a whole bounce thing going on, and they want everything bounced to a new mix.
Right.
So it just kind of depends
Yeah.
on that audience read. You got to look out and read. What do I have here?
Now, as a
'Cause
DJ, you got to be able to read the crowd. I got a lot of family that's in the French district of, Louisiana. So I know exactly what, you're speaking of, but not even just there, just anywhere, period. As DJs, we got to be able to read the crowd. There are moments where we could be creative and do things and they'll appreciate it. And then there are moments where, you just have to play the song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's, decided upon one, how you converse with the client. You know what I'm saying? And research the situation before the event so that you know the situation you're walking into.
True. Now this one is more DJ related. Should your tops and sub match?
ooh, glad you came back to that because when you all were talking about it earlier, I was trying to get in, but y'all kind of moved on, and I didn't want to be revisionist on subjects that y'all had passed on. But that makes for me, the guy was talking about he had the Mackies and the EVs and we're gonna get the QSCs, gonna sell them and get the QSCs. The thing I tell you about this, what I've learned, if they match, it's a better sound, but you have to take the time to actually get on to some of the tutorials or actually get the settings right. Because I have EV tops and bottoms and Behringer tops and bottoms. I have a set of 12 Behringers and a set of 15, 18 EVs
Right.
tops and bottoms. And I played a really big size venue with the EVs, and I didn't have them set. And I just played. I was like, okay, it sounded all right, but I was like, I expected more. Well, that was on me because when I come back and did the tutorial, and then I looked, the EVs actually have the settings on the back to match that particular sub. And man, when I did that, so clean, so clear, so it was like man, I can't
It's
describe
night
it.
and day. It's night and day difference. I know exactly
Yeah,
what you're talking about. The
Yeah,
crossover point.
it going and back to what I said earlier, knowing your equipment. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? A lot of people have stuff, but they don't utilize it to its fullest potential. You can actually have mismatched tops and bottoms, but if you have an understanding of sound, then you can make some of the cheaper stuff sound like QVC or any of the others. To be honest, is nothing but a name. You know what I'm saying? To give you an example, Mercedes Benz and Honda Accords are made on the same assembly line. The only real difference is the name, you know. Any equipment that you buy, you can buy the most expensive equipment. That doesn't mean that it's going to make you great. You understand what I'm saying? It's about the individual. Do you know how to utilize it right?
I can agree
You know,
with
Yes.
that.
getting familiar with your equipment. When you practice as a DJ, we're not just playing music. At least I would hope you're not just playing music. You know, we have to learn how to actually mix, and that's not just mixing the songs, but mixing the sound, shaping the sound. You know, most people, from what I've seen in my experience, they're playing straight into their tops and bottoms. They're not going through me. I go through a board so that I can better control and shape the sound of what I'm playing.
Yeah, board will give you more control.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of stuff that would, like a board you could use. Well, I use a dry rack. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
but the easiest way I say is at least have a board. Go from go into your bottoms and then into your tops. I hear people say go to the tops and then into your bottoms. I'm like that's backwards to me, but it might work for some people, you know.
Yeah.
But I got a question
Yeah,
from the
you're
group.
right about that, Flash, because depending upon how you daisy chain your setup can determine the output of your sound.
Right.
But again, that takes knowing your equipment because there are
Exactly.
settings that you can set on your bottoms so that you connect your tops, you know.
Right.
You can push the majority of your lows from your subs and your mids and highs from your
From your
tops,
top.
or you can do a combination of subs, from your tops and your bottoms. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
it takes researching
and
and
knowing your
doing your
equipment.
homework.
At the end of the day, know what you
One,
know what you have.
exactly.
Know what you have.
Yeah, like
Hey, could,
if you go ahead of time, if you know the space that you're utilizing, you know what I'm saying, while it's empty, um, doing walkthroughs, understand that the more people that you actually have in that space, that it's going to dampen the sound.
Sound. Yep.
You know,
It's loud as hell when you're here by yourself, but as soon as you get people in there, it sound like a little transistor radio, and you be like, "What happened?"
exactly.
All right, I got a question from the DJ Information Group. All right, on it. Okay, the question was, while are on this pandemic, what are we as DJs doing to keep our heads up to par? That's from Mike L. So we pretty much asking during the pandemic, what are y'all doing to keep up?
Well, one thing is practice. If you, I mean, you should do that without a pandemic. You should just practice. I
Yeah,
mean, you shouldn't. Like we're talking about mixes. You shouldn't wait to get to the gig to do a mix. You should know what that mix gonna do before you get to the gig. And then my particular situation is the groups like this, and then direct contact with some artists of something new hit. I'm just trying to stay on top of the new music. Just consistently on top of the music that it don't slip by me. Um, like you guys, like some of you guys are rather like to play the oldies. I do that too, but I have to stay up on the new as well. And just practice, 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 practice. That's my motto. Work harder. You know, if
yeah,
you
you're
think you
right.
do,
I mean,
yeah,
knowing your library is very important. The conversations that you have with your client before the event also is important. It helps to determine the outcome of the event. Like you have to ask the right questions when you actually are talking with your clients. Like I don't know everybody's process when they talk to their clients. I'm very detailed, so I ask a whole lot of questions so that I can avoid any headaches come time of the event. As well, even when you do that, you may get situations where you'll get a client that want to play, they want to hear something that maybe wasn't on the list ahead of time. You know what I'm
True.
saying? So knowing your library is important and key.
And we touched on that last week. Like having 5,000 songs in the library is not good. But some people like 5,000 songs in their library. but
Yeah,
know
I
what
mean,
That's me.
well,
That's me.
I would say it's not good. I would say
not
again,
conducive to what you're
go
going to
in your
do.
library, you can have that.
What
Know it
that
would
folder
display.
be for
Like
the
for
event?
me, I'll say with me is speaking with the client, I can shape a
The,
crate, you know what I'm saying, for that event,
right.
which is very helpful. And again, as DJs, we have to again be able to read
The
the
crowd.
crowd, you know what I'm saying? Not just, playing the music or playing what we want to hear. You have to adhere to the crowd because you're working for the client. At the end of the day, we're all working for the client and we're creating memories. So what we want to do is everything in our power to create the best memory. And I'll let somebody else speak, so I'm not talking the whole time.
Yeah, I heard quick. Well, about to chime in on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just saying about just mold the crate folder to whatever your client is, and that's what I do. I ask questions, like that. Hey, what songs are you looking? What type of music are you into? What'll make you happy? You know, and like I said, and we discussed this before. Years ago, as a DJ, as a young DJ back in the '80s, man, I would cuss you out if you hand me a list about stuff to play. I would cuss you out. I like, man, I control this. I tell you what you want to hear. You know, that's how we used to do back in there, especially breaking new music. You know how we did, and
Yeah.
that was part of it. I remember I was playing at this club, and one of the things that people liked about it, I was a DJ. I didn't play anything twice, so that was my thing. Was if I start playing at 10 o'clock and the club closed at 3, you better get there at 10 if you want to hear your song, because they knew that I was not going to play anything twice, and you wouldn't hear the electric slide either, you know. And so for a while, how when you playing at clubs, you burn yourself out. You burn out. Crowd will get
Yeah.
used to you and whatever. But for a
So
while,
let
that was
me let me ask you a question then. So you're saying that you
yes.
don't take requests?
No, 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 no,
He
no,
said
no.
back
I'm
then.
saying back then. Now I'll go around to, like, depending on the event or any event, I'll go and I'll talk to the people and make sure everyone's having a good time. If I see, because it's so hard now with technology. Years ago, you could tell if someone was enjoying themselves or not before the telephones, before Facebook, before they're playing, they're talking to their boyfriend or girlfriend the whole time. Before all of this, they were really involved with what's going on, at the party. Now, everyone, all the distraction with phones, you can't hardly tell if someone enjoying themselves or they're not. So I'll go around the room and just talk to people to make sure that I'm on point as far as the music. I might go to ladies tables. Hey, anything particularly y'all ladies want to hear tonight? Just just chop it up like that, just to make sure that if I if I can make one person happy or two people happy by playing a song, that's what I'll do. As long as it's not against whatever the client's wishes are. That's how I look at it.
Make two little quick points there. My kind of my little program is that I take requests, but I don't take lists. I won't take a list of songs from a person. I'll take a request from an individual, but I won't let one person dictate the night. But I had a mentor, God rest the dead, he's gone on, and he taught me something. I mean, as far as talking and interacting with the crowd, that's cool. But my mentor taught me, he said, pay attention to everything. Everybody might not be on the floor huffing and puffing and sweating and dancing their ass off. They may be just sitting at the bar, patting their feet or just rocking their head. They're having a good time. He said you got to kind of watch for everything. You don't necessarily have to have on 150 at all times to think that you actually move in the crowd. Sometimes the crowd ain't ready to move yet. And I take that with me, and I never forget. I always watch who patting their feet, who rocking in the beat. Like the club that I last played at, I would start at like 8 in the evening, and it would be just old people. Just older. I mean, really like people in their 50s and 60s, and they really didn't want to dance. They wanted to hear
Oh,
music.
wait a minute. You
Oh,
said
50s ain't old now. Oh, watch your mouth now.
I'm just saying. They really wanted to hear the music, though. They didn't want to dance. They wanted to hear, most of them wanted to hear something that made them reminisce. And that was their happy point. So you have to kind of, we all say read the crowd. We have to read for that happy point too. Maybe it's an older person. Let me say this to a mature teenager. How about that? A grown adult, and he's sitting there. And he's reminiscing. He's not ready, or she's not ready to jump out on the floor. They might just want to sit there and hear the old OJ's "Hooks in Me" or something. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of read for that too.
Yeah. I got another question from this one is from DJ Square Knot. He said, "What's the key element to reading the crowd successfully?"
I think that's what I was kind of hitting to. You got to look for everything. I mean, don't go in with the mindset that, I mean, I see I got a young protege, and their thing is I want to rock the crowd. I want to say, okay, well, if you go out to the family picnic and you plan the family picnic, and the people coming in and getting their food, they ain't ready to rock and jump around and do the line dance and all that right away. Or if you have I call it a cocktail hour crowd. The conversation we had with Lenny, I mean, uh, sometimes they want to that "cause I love you" thing, man. They want to hear that and think about the heartbreak they had. So you got to kind of read into all that to see what you got to feel that energy.
Okay, so it's
You,
more
you got
like you gotta pay attention to the dance floor and pay attention to the crowd and see what they doing pretty much.
feel
Well,
the
also,
energy of,
yeah. No, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I just said just feel the energy of where they at. A guy coming in from work tired, he want to reminisce. That's what I usually get. He don't really want to dance. He tired. He gonna have him sit about 4 beers, and he just want to sit there and remember that woman that broke his heart. So you might want to give him some Jeff Floyd, "Lose a Good Woman Tonight" or whatever. I mean, I don't know what.
You go to your go-to songs.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, like I was saying, you just have to know also your crowd, who's actually out there. Here's some, you always got to go, hey, man, let's get this party, man, started, man. Let's get them up dancing. I'm like, dude, it's like, there's like 8 guys in here and one female. I mean, what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
uh,
You have to
I
know, your crowd.
I don't
right.
know about you guys, area of the country too, and I tell you this. If you kind of sometimes it's kind of all right, but I guess it ain't the wildest thing. But sometimes I would do it, and sometimes if you move a little bit slower than the crowd, they'll come and tell you, "Hey, man," especially the women where I play at, they'll come and tell you, "Hey, DJ, we rather shake our ass now."
Right, right.
So
So like I always say, if you play for the women and you get the everybody up, you'll get the guys on the floor. You got the women dancing.
right, right. I agree with that. 100%
Uh,
agree.
Another question from Square Knot. When playing a song that seems to not get any response, how long do you stay in that before you transition out of it?
Immediately. I jump
Immediately?
right out of I jump right out of it. If I see everybody walking off doing like a boo, I'm out of there.
Okay.
I'm going to the next song.
I, I if it's new, I might give them a chance to hear it because sometimes they don't know it. But a lot of times that's 'cause they're not. I do a lot of new music, a lot of artists that send me music, and sometimes they don't hear it the first time. Uh, but like guys said, if it's really really bad, yeah, get your blend on, get your count on, and 8 counts and out. You know.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you let it ride to the first chorus,
w-
and then you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
out of it.
about like that. About like
yeah,
that.
Flash. I'm trying to
If
get
they
out
don't
of
pick
it,
it up
but
by the hook,
yeah, I'm trying to get out of it, but I don't want them to think I played it, like a mistake. Like, oh
Right.
snap.
So you try to find a mix out point, and you get out as quick as possible at
Yeah,
that
yeah,
point.
but not to make it look like, oh snap, I shouldn't have opened that door. And you shut it real
Right.
fast.
Right.
Yeah, you
I,
go
I
Right.
you
mean,
play
I got
a few bars of it, play a few bars of it and get right out of it.
Right.
my question would be, what made you play the song? You know what I'm saying? If it was a request, or if the client wants you to play that song, I would me personally, I feel as though, if they want this song to be played, but the people on the dance floor don't like it, me personally, I'm a mic person. I'll get on the mic and try to figure out if I can fandangle it. If I can't fandangle it, then like the guys are saying, yeah, I may blend something else in. But you have like mentally, you have to think like, why did I play this song for people to hear? Like, you know what I mean? How can I fandangle it instead of just try to get rid of it too quickly?
Right,
Because
right,
there have been times I play like a new shuffle song, like for example, the biker shuffle. Not everybody knows it, but some people may leave the floor, but some people are trying to learn it. I'll get on the dance floor and show them the biker shuffle. So I
Right.
guess it really depends on the DJ, and it depends on if they're a mic person. It really depends on the song as well. Because you may have
right. And
people
But
looking like, I don't know that song, but if you like, wait a minute, like, nah, this is about to be the new thing.
let,
yeah,
let me let me piggyback a question off of that question then, because I kind of do this. Aren't we as DJs supposed to be hit makers though? I mean, aren't we supposed to take the new music and make it work?
I
That's
say
what I'm
that all
saying.
the time. DJs don't break
I'm
records.
saying, like,
And of course, they're trying to break a record. It might take a crowd a little bit more long. Most people only like to dance to music that they know. Let's just be honest. But
Exactly.
but if you vibing and it mix, a lot of times if they dancing and it mix good and you bling it in right, they gonna dance to it. But if they just chilling and like nowadays everybody on their phone, so that's a
yeah,
whole different conversation. But yeah, you're supposed to try to break records.
I do that. That's why I'm kind of asking as the group, aren't we supposed to be hit makers? I got an artist. I won't really call his name, but I like his music. But a lot of people find it hard to deal with it. But when I kind of put it in a smooth mix, then they feel it. They feel it, you know. And I think that we kind of owe it to the artists to keep them in rotation, not to just like you said. You don't want to be playing. You don't want to be the DJ that say the people say, oh, "I know what he finna play next because he play it every week."
Right,
yeah,
Or he
yeah.
play,
right,
The,
right.
the, I see the problem with the newer music is, I won't say newer music, with us breaking music like we used to do back in the 80s and 90s. It's just that everything is, the public has so much access to music now. It's not like
Right,
it was,
right.
right.
it's not like it was before, man.
Exactly.
You could break something, but now everyone got the Spotify, Pandora, they got this,
Yeah.
they got that,
Right,
they got YouTube, and it's almost like it's almost like a music overload,
right, right,
really.
Yeah.
And getting back to the question about why you might have played a song that didn't hit, sometimes you think the crowd is ready, man. You hype, you ready, and they just ain't there yet, and you just missed it.
Well, yeah.
All
Yeah. Yeah.
right. Now we got another question from Country Boy. All right. Now you say media platforms. What are you pertaining to media platforms?
This was my question. I know that you've already touched on, and you and I have spoken on side. The mixed clouds and the Twixes and when you enter those platforms, how much time do they give you? Is it a time restraint or is it a
Um,
24-hour platform?
most of them, I don't think it's really no time restraints. I don't know about Mixcloud. They have a time restraint. I never, because when I go on there, I'm doing like 2 hour mixes. I know people that done 8 hour mixes, so I don't know. I don't think it's all night because at the end of the day on Mixcloud, what they do, your video, you turn that into an MP3, and how long you think it would take to create a 24-hour MP3? So
24 hours.
so what are you trying to do on the platform? Should be the question.
Well, I just have a project in mind. I haven't gotten it off the ground yet, so that's what I was trying to find out about the different formats. I see my
If you want to do
I
24
s-
hours, I would say sign up for like Live 365 or Radio Code, internet radio station for a 24-hour
no,
situation.
I don't want to do radio station. That's why I'm asking about doing it
Right,
because
but I'm not. But see, a 24-hour, I don't think I can be wrong, but you could check into it and see. But I don't know. Honestly, for 24 hours all day running constantly, I don't know. That would be your only bet to me personally. If anybody else,
That's a
at
long time, 24 hours.
yeah,
Well, I have a different vision in mind. That's why you can't y'all can't feel it because y'all don't have the vision. I have a different vision. But with those platforms, Mixcloud, like this Zoom can Zoom to Facebook, can it do the same thing to Mixcloud? Can you Zoom to Mixcloud?
No, you can't Zoom to Mixcloud. You had to use OBS because OBS have a stream key. But you actually, after you run it to OBS, you can run it to Zoom and then to Facebook, if that's what you're talking. Yes, you could do that.
No, wait. Why would I run it to OBS and then to Zoom? No,
Because,
I know I can Zoom to Facebook.
right. But why you
All I
had to
need
run
is-
it to OBS? Because you do Mixcloud. Mixcloud need a stream key, which OBS don't have a stream key. But also you could use Restream, and it probably could work out that way for you.
Okay.
What is he
okay.
trying to go live from? You ain't gonna be able to go to Facebook from Mixcloud, no way. You can just share the link.
Right.
No, I'm looking a little deep. I tell you what, one of the things I'm looking at, and I got the concept from this group another night. I was really kind of halfway looking at Twix more than Mixcloud, but I heard you guys speak on Mixcloud way more than Twix, and I hadn't really had the time to get into the tutorials. Every time I do, something comes up. But I noticed that my partner is able to. He's on Twix.
Right. Twit.
And,
Right.
and you were saying that they actually hold the video over, and I think like when we're doing these artists, and we could do the video to Twix, man, that would be a monster thing for the group.
But why would you go to Twix when you got more people on Facebook?
Well, because then it's just another medium. Twix gets some places that Facebook don't get. Like Twix actually can get to TV channels, like on Roku and Fire Stick and Sony to Sanyon TV, and so they get to a little bit more different mediums.
Listen, to set up a Twitch channel is take you longer to get followers and viewers than you would have on Facebook, and I'm telling you from experience.
Well, that's what a 24-hour thing came in was because I thought that what my thinking was, as opposed to individuals, that we did a collective thing, and that way, if I bring my 10 people and you bring your 10 people, and so on, then we would actually create a nice body of people. If we had something that didn't know there was work for them coming to see if they know that we were going to be interviewing Kim's wife or Lenny Williams or somebody from wherever, and then it's like, okay.
Well, actually, we have a YouTube page. The group have a YouTube page. So all the videos, you go to the DJ Information Group YouTube page, and all them videos are there.
Okay, that's a bet.
And then you say artist introduction to the group. Like I said, we have pretty much 2 people that really handles all that. Actually, I don't even handle it. So Rodney, can you do this? Or Rod Fast, can you do this? Square Knot and BB actually does that part of it. So if you got an artist, you reach out to them and find a date, and they get that artist on for you.
Okay, that was part of narrow part of the question. I guess the more broad thing was that, what do I need when I reach out to this artist? What do I need to know to be able to tell them? Just turn them on to Square Knot, or what do the artists need to have in preparation as far as, because you're gonna see my next question gonna be.
Well, hold it. I think Square Knot and BB is on here, so they could take it further than I could take it.
So what you can do is you can introduce yourself. You can introduce the DJ Information Group, and let them know that it's a Facebook group, and they would like to spotlight them and gain information, like to step into their world as an artist.
Oh, okay. And
what I do is I'll reach out to them and I'll introduce myself from the DJ Information Group, a Facebook group. And after I explain to them what the DJ Information Group is, I tell them what we do is we spotlight artists, we spotlight DJs, whoever they are. And then from that, we'll say, would you be interested in being spotlighted, where we get a chance to learn about you, learn about your projects, learn about your future endeavors. And from that usually covers the whole gamut. And then like some will say, what do I need to bring with me? And what I'll say is, if you have tracks, email them to me. But also, if you have a service pack, DJ service pack, where you got to clean the dirty acapella, that would be good. And then also point us in the right direction of your bio, because a lot of artists nowadays are using Linktree, which has everything on it. So they'll send you that link, or they'll send you their personal bio in PDF form or something like that. But if the artist doesn't have all of that, I will tell you, I don't like for the artist to feel bad about that, because they may not have been instructed to do that far. So what we'll do is we'll do as much research as we can. If we can't find anything on the artist during the interview, we'll have them bring as much about themselves out as possible, so we can learn about them at that point.
Okay. I kind of was on that part of that, but lastly, I wanted to, because of the music genres that I deal with are somewhat different sometime. I was trying to see how much of information you would need on the artist, for what type. I'd go from rap to R&B to Zydeco to country to.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. Just if they got an EPK, yeah, I mean, or they bio, send it, and it could be from anywhere. Like, it's information.
Okay.
It's not no
All right.
specific genre we look for. Yeah, I mean, it's none of that.
Okay.
Because now, and that'd be good, bringing different, because now you touching and you getting that artist, just say a New Orleans artist, you getting them out to the East Coast, per se.
Well,
So
that's
now,
my hope. That's my desire. That's what I said when I tell you about it's up to us to make to be hit makers. That's how we make hits. If I'm sharing music from the South to Philadelphia to South Carolina, that's a blessing for me and the artist.
exactly.
Can I hit back to your previous question, Flash?
Sure, good.
I know there was a question about why would we play that particular song. There's two things. I'll give you a prime example, because it's happened to me. You see the crowd, I'm talking 100, 150, 200 people. And they're out there, they're doing the dance or whatever, then everybody kind of goes. And people don't do like they used to do, where everybody was on the floor pretty much all night just jamming, because people have one distraction that keeps them from doing that, and that's these cell phones. So what happens is they'll dance for a little bit, especially if you're into trap and all that stuff, they're gonna literally dance 30 seconds, and after they hit that one move that everyone does, they off the floor. But if you go to a crowd, older crowd or something, you'll get them dancing for a little bit, but then you're like, okay, everyone's off the dance floor, but I know that this jam will hit. So I'll give you a prime example. One song that is almost guaranteed, well, there's two songs that's guaranteed to make people come on the dance floor. But here recently, I've learned that they don't even work that much, and that's the Cupid Shuffle and Wobble. Both of those songs will usually make people move. But I've played those songs. I've had like 3 instances thus far, this year, as a matter of fact, where I've played those songs, and people are either bobbing their head at their chair, or they're standing over in a corner. No one comes to the dance floor. So in that case, I transition out of that song, because I want to save that song for later, when I get the crowd on, and then I do a transition. Now, the other question was about multiple stringing, like Flash said, there's a string of songs where you may be able to blend the song in and keep them dancing. The perfect songs for that is Electric Slide. Electric Slide, there are 3 different versions of songs out there that you can play, that you can mix them all together, and they will continue to play. They will continue to do the same dance all the way through. The first one, of course, is Electric Boogie, the original Electric Slide. And then you can move into Candy, which Candy by Cameo, that joint is an Electric Slide joint. And then, of course, you got DJ, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but it's called Shall We Dance. which is also an electric slide joint. If you blend those in all the same
DJ
pen
Slice.
together,
DJ Slice, right.
yeah, DJ Slice, they will all stay on those songs. But you find out that and nowadays, no matter how good you're at reading the crowd, and I consider myself a pretty good damn crowd reader, in this day and time, you just don't find it. Like, for example, I find 60-year-olds that want to hear the baby. That's never happened before. But it's happening now. So that's where I would answer those questions.
Yeah. So pretty much covered all the things. Anybody else have any questions? Open discussion, open floor. Be willing to ask anything you want to ask. But what I want to say, if this your first time here, yo, keep checking the group. We do a lot of stuff in the group. If you have any questions, like I say, there's no right or wrong or dumb I don't like to say dumb, but there's no right or wrong questions. Don't feel, it could be the question, and I don't want, and one thing I said about the group, it's not with the group like, well, damn, he's the DJ, he should already know that. No, this is not the group. We don't do that. If it's a question you don't know, we try to answer to the best of our ability.
And if you don't have the answer right then and there, we will get you the answer.
And I got another one. This was a question asked in the group. I get some of the stuff I talk about from the group during the week. But what recording software are y'all using?
As in,
I'm still using Edit.
I still use Audacity.
Me personally, when I'm playing my sets, I use Serato, and then I put it in Audacity to edit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a question somebody. I'm getting the same answers that pretty much was said. Sometimes I'm just going back and double checking.
I got a question.
Sure, go ahead, Michael.
What do y'all DJs out there prefer, turntables or controller? Not everybody at one time now. Not everybody at one time.
Well, me, I can't use controllers for what I do.
Correct.
But I have two controllers. But see, that's a trick question, because if you're doing an event, most people ain't want to take their turntable. You might do a small event where you might want to take your little small controller.
Right.
So, for me personally, I prefer turntables. Just because what I do, I play vinyl. And I play 45, so can't do that on controller. But they make a controller that can do that, I will get it.
The only time that I take my tables out pretty much is if it's, like I said before, and you guys have probably heard me say this, if it's era specific, like I have, do school reunions that are 1979, 1969, 1964, or 1980. Back then, we didn't have controllers. So if I really want to get, even though, you can do them that way. If I really want to be kind of just like really get back into the old days, which will help people recall back when they were in high school or something, I'll take my tables out. But my preference is to take a controller for the very reason that Flash just said. They're easier to carry. They're easier to set up. And you can get things going. You can pretty much do everything you do with the tables that you would do you can do everything with the controller that you would do with the tables at that point when you're doing gigs.
Anybody else?
Controller. Now, if I'm in the house, of course, I got the Range 12s and I got NF7 III, but I also have Newmark and I also have 1200s. I love my albums, but my days of taking 10 crates out the house. Look, matter of fact, Flash, the Range 12s I got.
All right.
They're heavier. They're actually heavier than the 1200s.
Well, yeah, they are.
They're heavier. And you know what? They're not going out. They're not going anywhere either.
They staying here too.
Unless,
quick.
Yo. Yeah.
Hey, quick. That's why you got them big muscles, man.
Yeah, right. But in front of me, you talking about my stomach. Hey, but now like the Range 12s, like my turntables using the phase, I would do that if it's a real big event and I had a lot of time to do it. You know, but
Right.
as far as weddings and little parties and stuff like that, I don't even take the NS7 III out or the original NS7. I
Yo,
take
I
Newmark. I got a Newmark MV2. That's what I use when I do parties and stuff.
yo,
Nah,
if you
I
put
just
that
don't.
NS7 in a case, that's like
Ooh,
carrying a dead body. I had the
it
original
is.
NS7 at one time. I got rid of it, but yeah, I
Yeah, Flash.
mean,
I got the original one in the case, and then I got the three that's not in the case. Now I have played 2 or 3 gigs with it, and I just carried it in a keyboard bag, soft
right.
case, soft bag, and carried it that way. But as far as man, nah, not anymore. I can't do it.
Well, I
Yeah.
tell you like this.
I
I went
don't
to
like those big controllers, man. I just don't want to tote those.
I tell you like this. I went to an event one night that Quick was doing. Remember that trail ride event you was doing outside?
Yes,
And
sir.
Quick had one of the scissor tables, had the scissor racks, and then he had that NS7 sitting on there, and he was I think he was setting it up or breaking it down. And he said, hey, Square Knot, hey, grab this for me real quick. I'm gonna shift it over a little bit. And I picked that thing up and I was like, damn. I said, you carry this everywhere? He said, man. He said, only for here right now. But I usually carry something lighter. But them
And
NS7 is something else, bro.
look, and Square Knot, that was my because I've had multiple NS7s. Now, I got my original one. I won't sell that one, but I've had 2 or 3 of them that I've bought at real good deals and then sold, pretty good, made a little profit off of them. I think that doing that trail ride, that was like my extra one because I don't think was it in the case. Was it in the case?
No, you didn't have it in a case, and that's when I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
man, that thing is heavy as hell.
yeah.
But yeah,
It is.
But y'all know nobody seen a spinathon. So in January, I will be starting a spinathon back up. So I will post. And this time, I'm not trying to do 20 DJs, but yo, if 20 people, like I tell y'all, 20 people sign up, I gotta do 20. I don't like turning nobody away. But now, on the Sunday night chats, I'm thinking about spotlighting a DJ to do a 30-minute set. If anybody, I might start that next week, or you think should we do like, or not even a DJ, or like demonstrate or do some tutorials doing some things? What one of y'all would like?
Why not do both?
Do both?
Mm-hmm.
That could work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I always try to switch things up. I don't like being normal, so I got to always think of shit outside the box.
and I would say if we're gonna do training on, if it just happens to be a training session, do like a 15-minute set, and then the DJ could go into his training about what he was doing or whatever.
right.
Or the training could be on anything. Training could be on OBS. The training could be on mic, spotlighting, or the Rodecaster Pro.
Or why not just have the training like 1 week and then
And
stop
right.
day?
Yeah, that'll
Right,
work.
1 week, right. See? That's why I can't think of anything myself. I keep telling y'all, I'm no better than my team. Without the team, it won't be no me. So I've always been a team player, you know. And maybe BB could tell us more about house music, you know.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell y'all about 45s, where to buy them from, how to maintain them. Like, have something and do something different. Like, I'm always trying to push difference. Like, I always try to be different in anything that I do. But, of course, people going to gravitate to it and copy, but it is what it is. You know.
You're right.
But anybody have any questions? Floor is open. I'm going to stop recording it because I'm going to put this on Facebook for us. But, yeah, I mean,